Welcome to Spotlight. I'm Jay Brown, your host for today, and my special guests are Fluvanna County Sheriff Eric Hess and TRIAD Vice President and Volunteer Pamela Bevins. Good to have you both here.
Good to be
Good to be
And
here.
we're here especially today to talk about TRIAD and the seniors program that it promotes. The seniors program is coming up on the 20th of September. That's a Wednesday, and it'll be held at the St. Paul and Peter Church on Route 53. Well, thank you for inviting us over.
No
I'm
problem.
sorry we
Anytime.
couldn't have you in our studio, but we're not quite there yet. Thank you for coming.
Super.
Yes.
Thank you.
Basically, what I'd like you to do, Eric, is tell the audience all about TRIAD. How did it start? How did it grow? And who, it's private, I understand it's private public enterprise. And if you'd explain all that.
Okay, TRIAD started back in 1988 with three national organizations: the National Sheriff's Association, the AARP, and the International Association of Chiefs of Police. These three groups realized that a growing trend in crime was targeting our elderly population. So at this time they formed a group called TRIAD. And what TRIAD is, basically, our TRIAD comes through the Attorney General's office, which is Mark Herring. There are approximately 200 TRIAD programs here in the state of Virginia. And there are affiliations between either chiefs, sheriffs, local organizations, the AARP, anyone that provides services to the elderly population. On the law enforcement side, our main mission in the Attorney General's office is to get the information out to our elderly population about crimes that particularly target them.
What special benefits can, let's say, seniors and pre-seniors, because you're talking about people who are about to get into Medicare and
Right.
don't know how to do it, and I understand, as we'll find out later, that they're one of your exhibitors today. What benefits positive benefits
Right.
can they get from this?
Having the senior program here in our community and inviting all the organizations and vendors that have resources for seniors is to try to get them all into one location where you can come by and actually see what is available on your local level, your state level, and your federal level. Some may be private, some may be state or federally funded, a variety of things. But if you don't know what resources you have to aid you, if you don't learn about it. And
No, right.
A great place to learn about it is to come to the senior fair.
Good. Again, the senior fair is Wednesday, September the 20th, and it'll be at the Saints Peter and Paul Church, running from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. Tell us somewhat about the protection services that you, the Sheriff's Department, provide in this county, about the various scams I keep hearing about, and you know a lot more about them.
Scams have, well, the internet, with the birth of the internet and everyone being connected worldwide, you're anonymous.
Yeah.
So with the good comes the bad, and the bad side of that, a lot of people are using the internet to create frauds and scams. And a lot of them come over the telephone, a lot of them are via computers. They're endless. Every time we expose one way they do things, they come up with another creative way to go about doing something, and they use technology to their advantage. And it's the losses here in our county alone are in the thousands and thousands of dollars.
Really?
And and that's just what gets reported. I'm afraid a lot of people don't report because they're afraid to expose the fact that somebody took advantage of them. Well, anybody can be taken advantage of. But if we don't know about it and we don't get that message out in the community, then everybody else is subject to be a victim the same way you were. So
Right.
It's important to report those scams and those frauds. I mean, you remember back in the day when it was the the driveway paving scam when the guys came by and they had one extra dump truck load of asphalt, and we'll do that, and we're going to give you a really good rate, and we'll go get some more and be back. So go ahead and pay us for that other load too, and we'll be back shortly, and we'll do that. Well, you never see them again.
No,
and
that's
it was the roofing guys or whoever, and these were people that didn't live in our community.
Yeah.
They were people that were transients that would come through and perpetuate these schemes. Now, people can come from another country into your home via your computer. And they started out with the simple scams. Oh, you've inherited money, or you've been a lottery winner, or whatever. And just reading the broken English, you could kind of pick it up as being something that wasn't right. But they've become more and more advanced. Two current examples that we can talk about here is one is now how many. With the Texas hurricane and the ongoing hurricane coming through Florida and into South Georgia and everywhere up the coast here, you see all these places coming up, donate, for Texas, donate for this, and you really have to be smart today. Every American's initial goal is to help somebody, especially another American. And everybody wants to give, whether it's a case of water or a $20 donation. But you really, when you start giving out donations, be leery of giving cash, okay? But when you do write something to an organization, do it in the form of a check or do it electronically. But you have to be careful electronically. A lot of people that are in the scamming business will take a charitable organization and mimic their website and change the IP address by a few letters or something different. And guess what? Now you've marked on to this what you thought it was, and all of a sudden you're making a charitable contribution to somebody in a foreign country.
I understand
it happens all the time.
I understand that a lot of the numbers, the phone numbers, I look at my phone when I get spoofing. One. And I see 434, and then all of a sudden I'm talking to somebody I think is from the Dominican Republic.
Exactly. It's ironic. I've even had a couple of folks in the last week call me and ask me not to call them anymore, and they were the victim of a spoofing using my cell phone number. It's turning into a common practice, and I can't really tell you. You can Google spoofing, and they'll tell you how they actually do it. It's over my head on the IT side. But evidently, the people that know how to do it make it work really well. They found out after educating people for so long, don't answer the phone if you don't know who it is. Well, they got a little smarter, and now they're saying, oh, we'll make them think it's one of their neighbors calling.
It happens to me all the time.
Yeah. And I've had it happen to me on my computer here at my desk. At least once or twice a week, I get some kind of a scam.
Now, are these real phone numbers? Like, if I took the phone number down,
you wouldn't.
Reported it.
The spoof number is my number.
It is.
So you never see the other number.
Okay.
And that's why. And I commended the people who called and told them good. Because in the old days they didn't spoof, so you should call them back and call them out on it. Yeah. But now you're calling some innocent person, or a while back they were using the Palmyra Fire Station's phone number to solicit money for something.
Right.
And there are several sheriffs in the state that have had people soliciting money on behalf of their sheriff's office, or we're going to come out and arrest you because we have a warrant if you don't give us your credit card number and stuff like this. Never ever give out any of that information. We work for the citizens in this community. I want you to call me, somebody in my office, and have a conversation with somebody here. And if somebody is telling you that they're a law enforcement officer and they're going to do X, Y, and Z, then you need to say, well, thank you for that information, hang up, and then call that agency, call that sheriff's office, call that police department and say, I'm Miss So-and-so, I'm Mr. So-and-so, and somebody just called and they're going to arrest me because I didn't show up for jury duty, and I got to give them $500. Well, right away we'll tell you that's not the way anybody in this state or the United States probably does business.
Now, these perpetrators, I take it, are real sounding. They sound like real people, not necessarily somebody from the Dominican Republic.
Exactly.
And how often is this happening in, let's say, a county like ours, Fluvanna County? How
Weekly.
many seniors?
Weekly.
Weekly?
Numerous, 3 to 5, and unfortunately, some have been for very large sums of money.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, some people are probably even ashamed of maybe $100, but we're talking thousands of dollars.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's no different than buying something on eBay or whatever. As soon as we get our new camera system, we will. I'm going to give up my parking space in the front, and we're going to create a safe exchange zone, and it will be monitored with a full-time camera. We don't have one currently that faces that particular lot, but within a few months we will, and people can come and do that. But what happens a lot of times when somebody buys or is selling something, once they get the money, you never get the product.
Yeah.
And that happens over and over again. You should never send large sums of money unless you go through a correct PayPal or somebody that's going to guarantee these transactions.
Yeah.
And or when you go somewhere to receive the goods, that you're actually meeting somebody that has those goods, not somebody that's going to try to do or commit another crime.
Now, when somebody phones me that sounds legitimate and gives me the name of a charity or an organization that sounds legitimate, I usually say, I don't do anything on the phone. Would you please send me something in the mail? And I'll consider it. Is that a good response?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I take care of my elderly dad, he just turned 93. And it's taken me a while, but he is consistent with answering the phone that, I'm sorry, you'll have to call back. I'm just a caretaker. Oh. So then he has no more conversations with them because they think they're not dealing with somebody that is legit and that they can scam.
Yeah.
So and a lot of us are taking care of our parents, and whether they're living with us or not, we need to educate them on what to do. And we've had so many elderly people that have been scammed by people, even people that are part of their care structure. You've got, if you're caring and responsible for an elderly parent, you need to know, who's their grass maintenance people, who's their home health care people, who are doing all these things for them, and make sure that they're on the up and up and they're legit, because a lot of people are out to make money off of somebody fraudulently, and it can go in a variety of things. So you really need to today, unfortunately, do your homework more than ever. And like I said, if you're responsible for your parents, you really need to educate them or bring them to the senior fair.
All right. I'm educated a little better than I was. Pam, just a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about the seniors fair at the church. How many exhibitors, what kind of exhibitors, etc.?
Right. Well, first of all, I'd just like to say the TRIAD committee has several members working on this senior day. And one of them is Pat Podwysaki, who is our president and also lives at the lake like I do. We have, at this point, about 30 vendors signed up. That could increase. They can basically be divided into 3 categories: government, social services, and medical services. All right, some examples of government would be the sheriff's office, the Lake Police will be there, Commonwealth Attorney, and the Virginia Attorney General's office will have a representative there also. Social services, we will have AARP of Virginia, Fluvanna Meals on Wheels, the Fluvanna Partnership for Aging, and amongst others, JABA, which is the Jefferson Area Board on Aging. Okay, and then medical will have 3 local pharmacies, one of which is going to give flu shots, and Belltown Hearing, which will they will give free hearing tests.
I had a hearing test last year, and as a result, I have hearing aids now.
There you go.
Told my wife for years that I didn't have a problem, but I went through it, and very good service.
And she said, I told you.
Yeah, now I'm wearing them right as we speak. So. Well, good. So, and is Medicare there as well, or do you have a?
Yeah, there are 3 breakout sessions. One is Medicare. They'll have 2 hour-long workshops on Medicare and all you need to know about Medicare. and that's put on by JABA. We'll also have CarFit, which is an agency that.
Tell me about CarFit now.
Yeah, they're going to be checking seniors for their proper fit between the seniors in their car and the safety of them in their car, whether they're at the proper distance from the steering wheel and that sort of thing. And we'll also have senior yoga classes. They're going to run 4. Obviously you have to come prepared, wear comfortable clothing and so forth. Bring a mat if you have one. But Barbara Bartels, who's an experienced yoga teacher, will be giving those classes.
Now, we're talking about this as being Seniors Day, but this is a good event for pre-seniors to come to, right?
Absolutely.
Especially to join the breakout class that's being delivered by AARP and others.
And people who are concerned about their parents, so maybe their parents can't come and they need information, they can come for them.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, very good. Where do we go next? Will there be additional programs after this seniors event on the 20th? Are there other breakout programs? Do you have follow-ups, or is it just once a year at this time?
Well, we've been going to the 4 corners of the county, basically. We've already gone to Scottsville Community Center, Fork Union Community Center, the lake, and was it Fork Union?
Mhm.
To present this sort of information to the seniors in those places. I'm sure we'll be doing more. We have monthly meetings for TRIAD to discuss what we're going to do in the future.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So there will be. It's not. This will be an ongoing thing
Mm-hmm.
with different meetings, hopefully, or seminars during the year.
Yes, hopefully.
If you can do
doing
it.
That, yes.
I mean, we have a clubhouse here. We can do that.
Perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
Right. Let's see if there's anything else. Anything else you'd like to add at this stage?
Absolutely.
Sheriff?
I have to first of all thank all of the volunteers in TRIAD. TRIAD we are a partnership, and myself and my office provide a small part of that, but it's the volunteers who run this program, as just like Pam and Pat.
Right.
And there's a lot of people involved in that are members of the community here that have applied through VIPS, Volunteers in Police Service, and they come in here and help us with a variety of things that are very, very helpful. And this TRIAD program would not be happening if it were not for them, because our workload, our first job's fighting crime,
Right.
and then then we have all these other things, but really, this program wouldn't happen without the volunteers in this community. And Fluvanna is traditionally a community where people step up to the plate and help each other.
Oh, that's great. That's good. All right.
One more thing about Senior Day. The event's free, and you get a free lunch, too.
A free lunch?
You do.
That's good. Well, I hope you all remember it out there. Remember now, Seniors Day is going to be held on Wednesday, the 20th of September, from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon at St. Paul and Peter Church. This video will be shown on Lake Monticello Comcast channel 977, and the timetable for that is 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. from Thursday the 14th through Tuesday the 19th, and from 5 and 7 o'clock in the morning from Friday the 15th, I guess it is, through Wednesday the 20th. And we should have a title up so you'll understand that. Well, thank you very much. This has been great. Good to see you. And thanks for inviting us in. Sorry our studio wasn't ready.
No problem.
And you
Look
too,
forward.
Pam. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
setting this up. Okay, good.
Thank you much.